right? So we'll be learning how to draw the economics graphs using Microsoft PowerPoint, and then also exporting um, those those diagrams or those graphs to Microsoft Word, and then also how to write some formulas using Microsoft Word. So we have a picture here. It's written there, the ISLM model. The picture was provided by a student, right? So the student wants to know how to draw this graph using Microsoft PowerPoint. Now, it's not to say that this diagram is correct or it's incorrect. That is not the focus here. The focus here is how to draw this. Okay, so this could be correct, this could be incorrect. Is no answer to any question by any means. So let's start drawing the diagram. So first of all, you'll have a blank page. Unlike me, it has Africa Academics logo there. In your case, it will be a blank page. So the first thing that you'll start with is the horizontal and the vertical lines that you see over here. So how do you draw those horizontal and vertical lines? You'll just open your tab here, then you'll go to insert. So usually it might come maybe at home, so you'll have to click on insert, or if it comes showing let's say a review, you must click insert. So after you click insert, you go to shapes, right, under illustrations there. So there you'll see you have text box, you have line, you have line arrow, you have rectangle, and so many other shapes. So you want to use a line, right? So here it's written recently use shapes, so these are the lines that I've used recently. Now it will change based on what you are using, so I'll just click line there. So as soon as I click line, then I will just left click on any point that I want to start at, and then I will go down. So you can see as I go down, I might move to the left or right slightly, right? You want to make this straight, but you shouldn't stress yourself at first. If it feels like it's not straight, it's fine. You can just take a look at it. If you feel like it's not looking straight, you'll then go back to tab again, and then you go to shape format. So you'll see this already on shape format. Okay, so you want to make sure that this is 0 here, or one of this is 0. If it's vertical, then you want to make sure that this is 0. You'll see there, if I start increasing, the line is now moving to the right, it's no longer straight. But if I decrease it to 0 centimeter, the line will be straight. So I'll be confident that the line is straight. But the line that I have here does not feel thick enough, right? It does not, even the color there is not the one that I want. So you can then just choose here whichever line that you need, or if you want to have more control over that, you'll click here. So you'll click here, format shape. Okay, so you'll start with the color there to say I want black color for the line, and then the width is going to control the thickness of the line, so you can increase that to say I want my line to be at least 3 pt. Okay, then that is the thickness of your line. So let's just make it 2.5. I think it's fair. And then the type of the line, if you want it to be a dash, you can change it there. You'll see it's changed to a dotted line there. You see, you can change it however you want, but I want a solid line. Now this line here, if you look at this graph, it also has this horizontal line, right? So I want to have a horizontal line as well. How can I do that? Well, you can just copy, you can just click on this line and then you copy it, right? So you'll come here, copy, and then you'll paste it. So when you paste it, make sure you paste using use destination theme. Do not use picture, you use destination theme. So after you do that, you want to make it horizontal, right? Now you can do this manually, or you can do it you can do this automatically. If you want to do it using this tab, you'll just click on the tab, you go to shape format, and then you can rotate the line. So if you rotate 90 degrees, you'll see it will be fine, right? Then you can move it manually, click there, then you'll bring it over here. So you'll see it's a bit difficult to have it in the best position. Let's just zoom there. So you can see that it's not that nicely placed, right? So what you can do is you can use your keyboard arrows. There's an arrow pointing to the left. You can move it to the left or to the right. I'm just gonna move mine to the left slightly, so I can see that it's okay now. But maybe I feel like my horizontal line is not long enough. I click on the I left click on that line. I open my tab, go to shape format, and then I go here, shape height. So I start increasing that, right? So as I increase, you see it gets longer and longer. So that is going to move it out of line just a bit there. So I have to shift it using my arrow on my keyboard. Okay, just like that. So now I feel like my line looks a bit better, right? So you can see that I have the vertical and the horizontal. So now I move to the blue lines, right? How to draw these blue lines. So once again, you go back to your tab, insert, shape, and then those lines again. So you can start by drawing this manually. You can start at any point, and you can have that over there. So maybe now we should move this slightly forward. Okay, I think over here is fine. Yeah. So maybe you also want to change the thickness of the line. Remember, you just go over here, and then you can make it 1.25 there, or 1.5, right? It's up to you. I will leave the color at blue, but you have the power to use any color that you want when you draw your own graphs, right? There's no rule that say the lines should be green or that, unless it is stated so. So after I draw this line, if you check here, there's another line, LM curve. So how do I do that? You click on this line, left click, right click, and then you copy. Then you're going to paste. Every time you paste, you use destination theme. So after I paste there, I have this line, right? But I want this line to be facing the other direction. So you open the tab again, go to shape format over there, and then you're going to rotate. So you'll just play along with this to see which one helps find whatever you want, right? So if I start with 90 degrees, I don't feel like it's okay. Rotate left 90 degrees, still don't feel like it's okay. Flip vertical, flip horizontal, I feel like this one is fair. Okay, it's exactly what I want, but it's still not in position if I compare with this. So you just move it around. So as you move it around, you'll see there'll be lines that pop up, right? So those lines will help you align it in the best position. Once it's in a box, you know that it's well placed. You can see mine is in a box now. I will let go of my left click, right? So those are the lines that I wanted, but I still want another one there which is dotted. I'll just copy again. I'll paste this. So this one that I paste here, I want this one to be a dotted line. Okay, so I'll click that line, open my tab, go to shape format, then under shape styles there I'll click there, then I'll only change the dash type. So I go to dash type, I make a dotted line, and then I'll also change the color to make it black. Alright, so I can zoom there just to see if everything I'm doing is coming alright. It looks okay when I look at it. Maybe I can adjust some things. It looks fine. It looks fine. Okay, so if I compare it with this one, definitely it looks fine, right? So now I have my diagram, then I have to name it. So when I name it, open my tab, insert. This time I won't be inserting shapes, I'll be inserting text box. So I'll start with this position here, then I will name this one. So you'll be using your keyboard to name. So let's say this is lmkev. Okay, so if it does something like this, don't panic. You just drag this out, right? You'll have the lmkev there. As you can see, if you want to change the font of this, you can just highlight that, and then you'll choose the font that you want. So I want Arial, right? Because that's the one they want in my assignments. I'll just use Arial there. Then it goes back to that funny shape. I just drag that back. It will be fine. So I'll copy this. Because I want to use it again, right? So if you look here, you also have iskev. So I'll just copy and paste over here, and then I'll write iskev. Okay, so I have my iskev over there. And then what else do I need? I need the R on the vertical line and the Y on the horizontal line. So I'll copy and paste, but this time I'll paste around here. So what I need is the R. The R that I saw the other side looks like it's in it's in italic, right? So I'll just do that, and then now I'll just position it where I feel is well positioned. So I think here is well positioned. Then I'll copy that. You'll see you have R there, and then we now paste. Now we want to have our Y, so I'll just move this over here. I think this is well positioned. Then you'll have Y there. Okay, so that is my Y, right? So I have the R and the Y. So now I have to draw these other lines here so that I can be able to write the Y0, Y1, R1, R0. So these lines, if you look at them, they are slightly dotted, right? They don't have to really be perfectly like this, but you can see that they're definitely dotted lines. So once again, we go back over here, we open our tab, insert, and then we go to shapes. Then you choose any line there, but just choose the normal line. So if you choose the normal line, you will have this. So when you draw this line, you'll see it's not straight, right? If you look at it, you can see it's not straight, and maybe you don't want to deal with the difficulty of making it straight. It's just too much. So you click on the line, you open your tab, you go to shape format, then you want to make sure that this is 0 here. You want to make sure that this is 0. As soon as it is 0, then you know that definitely that line is straight. And then now you want to make it a dotted line and also increase the thickness. On the width. And then now you want to choose the kind of dash that you want. Let's choose this one over here. And also choose the color that you want. You can choose gray, you can choose orange. Let's choose orange. Okay, so you can see over there we have the line that we wanted. So you'll copy this, you'll paste that line. Now this time the line you want it to be horizontal, right? So you go there, you rotate 90 degrees. You can see it is now horizontal, right? But now if you look at this diagram, the line is just moving out of the graph, so we can just reduce the size there. If we reduce the size, you see it comes back like that. Okay, you can see we have these lines here. So we will draw other lines. You just copy this, then you paste again. This will come over here. So you can also move this using your arrow just to make sure that it's in line. Okay. So you can move this back. you can just reduce this. You can see over there. Okay, it's in place now. So you'll copy this one as well, then you'll paste, right? So as long as you have the lines repeating, you can just copy and paste and move them in the position you want them to be. So as I reduce the line, you'll see there we go. So I have those two lines that I needed, like this ones here. So now I can put my y0s there and my y1. All right. So when you do that, you can still copy and paste this, copy there, and then you paste. All right. So this is well positioned there. Now that that other y has a 0 on it. So you want to make this 0 a subscript. So you just highlight it there. You go to your tab, and then you're going to open this. This is under font, which is under home, right? You must make sure that it's not under shape format. So when you open this, you will see the strike through, double strike through, superscript. You go to subscript. So if you have a subscript there, you will see it will be just like that, right? But I want to reduce this size. It's a little bit large, right? So I can make it 10. 10 I think is fine. Okay, I think 10 is fine, just like that. So once again, I can copy this and paste so that I don't have to do the hard work again. So you'll have a 1 there, and then you remove the 0. Okay, you don't remove the 0 first, you put the 1 first, and then you remove the 0. So this will go over here. Okay, so as soon as you have that, you can also do the R1 and the R0. So just like that, you can remove the Y first, write the R, then you remove the Y. So I believe this will come somewhere here. You copy this and then you paste, right? So as long as something is repeating, you just copy and then you paste. So we'll have 1 there, then we remove 0. So you can see that I put something first before I remove. I don't remove first and then put again. Okay, so we have our R1 and then the R0 over there. I think if we compare this, we can say that it looks like this, right? Maybe the colors are different. So now you want to put this arrow here pointing to the right side. You go back again here, open your tab, insert, shapes, and then this line here with the arrow. Then you're going to do that. So as you can see that I'll try to zoom, is blue, maybe one black. Once again, you open here, change the color, black. Maybe you want to change the thickness as well. You can see that the thickness is fine, right? Then you can also change the arrow if you want, but I don't think this is necessary, and also the size of the arrow. Okay, so you can leave that there, move it into position just a bit. There we go. So we have the line that we wanted. If you compare this with this, it looks fine. Okay, then we have this information here, overall macroeconomic equilibrium. I won't be writing that, but I'll show you. Text box, you open that over there, and then I'll write my name to say that my name is Africa Academics. Okay, but in your case, you'll write whatever it is that you need to write. I just wrote my name and then I'll put it over there. You'll just position it yourself. I can also shift this, then use Arial there. I'll think it looks okay. I can also copy this and then paste over here. So when I paste, I'll write So when I paste, I will write the name of the graph, right? I'll write the name of the graph there. Of course, the name of the graph is the ISLM model, so I'll just put it there. Okay, so now you are done drawing your graph, right? It looks like this. You're done drawing your graph. You want to take it to Microsoft Word where you are writing your assignment. So how do you do that? You will see here there's some thumbnails. Okay, so depending on the PowerPoint you're using, you'll just open your thumbnails here. You can also click left click here, drag open this, and so on, right? And then choose which page you want to take. So you'll select the page whereby you have your graph on. So you will right click and then you'll copy. Okay, you'll right click and then you copy. So after you copy, then you have your graph. You will then go to Microsoft Word, right? You'll open Microsoft Word. So as soon as you open your Microsoft Word, you have your details and so on, and then you go the position where you want to paste it. So I want to paste it here. Now when you paste, you're going to have options when you paste, right? In my case, it's not showing the option, but the option that is going to appear, okay, is here. Now you'll see you have keep source formatting. You also have picture. My advice is take a picture, right? Even though picture is going to reduce the quality, is take picture. So you take picture, and then what you do is you're going to crop the picture. Okay, so I don't want the Africa Academics logo appearing there. I'll just open my tab again, then picture format, then I will crop. So as I crop there, I will have the graph that I want. Okay, there you see that is the graph I want, right? So that's what you want to do. So this will be the graph that you want. You can even move it around if you want. You can move it in the center. The line will tell you that it's in the center, right? So then you'll just add some nodes, whatever it is that they want you to add, right? That's how you would do this. So let's now do a graph whereby it is curvy, right? It has some lines that are curving. So we'll use this graph here. It is called economic loss. So I'm not saying that this is the answer to what do you call your assignment, right? This is just something that I got from the student. So how do we draw this? We're first going to start with the vertical and the horizontal line as always. So I'll just copy and paste this one. See, I'll copy this and then I'll come here, I'll paste, then I'll go back, I'll copy this, then I will paste. Okay, so you can see there the horizontal lines that I need are there. Okay, so I'll paste the horizontal line. So as long as you need a line, you can just copy and paste, right? I just want to use this, I'll paste. I'll change the color only. So for me to change the color, click on the line, open the tab, you go to shape format, and then I can open here. So I will go to color there. So I'll say I want the line to be blue. Blue's not that visible. I'll choose green. Okay, so you can see here I have the ARMR line. Then I also need the dotted lines there. So I think I have dotted lines here. I'll copy this. Now I'm just copying because I'm lazy. So I paste there, but it's not straight. Okay, so I want it to be straight. I open my tab there, I go to shape format, right? So now I want to make it to be straight. So you'll see as I move this down to 0, the line becomes vertical and straight now. So it is now vertical and straight, so I can position it where I want to position it, right? So when you position it, you can also use your arrows there to position it properly. When you feel that it's in position, you'll just leave it there, right? So like that, it is in position. Okay, so now you want to reduce the size of the line. Maybe you'll go to shape format, and then you'll start reducing the line, right? You want to make it a little bit smaller, and then after reducing it, you just move it down again. I think it is fair now. So you'll copy the line and then you'll paste it. So this time around, when you paste it, you want to make it horizontal. Okay, so you go to shape format and then you rotate. So you rotate 90 degrees, and then you can now move it this way. So if you want, you can move this to the right so that it fits that. Right, it's really going to depend on your how you're comfortable with this and everything. By now, you just have to know where you get these things, but how you move them is totally up to you. So now you want to draw the two lines which are curving, the MC and the AC. We will start with the MC, okay, the green line there. You open the tab, you go to Insert, you go to Shapes, and then you look for a line which is curving, right? So it's written there, curve. So you click there. So with curve, you're going to use your right click, and then you have to watch your movement of the mouse. Very important. Nothing else. The right click and the movement of the mouse. Okay. So we want to draw the line that will intersect over here. So you have to be patient with this. It is challenging, this one, as we have seen from the live session. It was challenging, so you really have to be patient when you draw this one. So you right click once and then you move. Okay, you right click. So as you curve, you right click, right? As you curve, you right click. So as you curve, you right click. You see my line is not that straight. That is better. Okay, then if you want to stop there, you press enter on your keyboard without moving the line. Okay, so that will depend. If you feel it's fine, then you'll choose the color. Let's choose red there. Then also I want to choose the thickness. You can just increase the thickness. You can see it's now much thicker. We'll compare this two. If you feel it's fine, then it's fine. You don't have to change, right? Then now you want to draw the AC curve there. We'll do the same thing. You'll go to curve. So remember, you go to Insert, Shapes, and then curve, right? So you will start over there. Any position you feel is fine, you start. So right click, then you move down slightly, right click, right click, right click, right click. So as you curve down, you just right click, right click. Then if you want to stop there, you press enter. You don't move the mouse in any way, you just press enter. So let's choose a color there. I think yellow will be fine. Then you can increase the thickness and then you leave it there. Okay, so you can see there we have our AC line, right? So we have our AC line. If you feel it's not in position, you can move it manually now. You can just click there, then move it manually. I think it's fine now. Yes. Okay. Now, if you look at this picture here, it is a bit shaded. Maybe we also want to shade this position here. So you'll just go to insert shapes, you look for rectangle. So you'll then come here, right click, hold, then you drag it. Okay, so you can then choose the color that you want. Maybe you want this one. So you have there your shaded rectangle. Okay, then we can start naming. Now when we start naming, we're going to name it the very same way we were naming the others. Alright, so I'm going to name the quantity and the unit revenue and cost, which are sitting slightly different. So you'll go to insert, and then you'll open text box there. There we go. There we have our quantity. Fine. You put that in position. If you feel it's fine, then you can just copy that and then paste. So as you paste, you're going to drag it, you bring it here. So remember, here we have unit revenue and cost. So you can write your unit revenue and cost first if you want. It's totally up to you. Okay, is it unit revenue and cost? Yes, unit revenue and cost. So now you click this because you want to flip it, right? You go to shape format, then you're going to rotate this. So you can rotate it this way or this way. I think this way is the correct way. Then you position it in the way you feel is fine. So you have unit revenue and cost over there. Okay, so but our graph also needs the C3, P3, MAC, MC, E3, AR, MR. Now all of that, remember guys, we've already covered it in this graph as to how do we draw that. Okay, so I'll just do one. I'll copy this one, then I'll bring it this side. Okay, so if I paste this side, I can say right there C3. Where is C3 positioned? C3 is positioned over here. So you see, it is definitely nothing new, right? It is everything that we have covered so far. But the purpose of this part was just to show how to draw these curvy lines. Now these curvy lines are the ones that are difficult. Remember, you go to insert shapes, and then you'll have curves there. So that's why you start the way you feel is fine. You right click as you curve. Okay, so it's going to take some practice to make it work, right? So definitely not going to be easy the first time you do it. Now as soon as you're done with that and you feel it's fine, now it's time to move to formulas, right? So the formula that most students are having a challenge with, it is the standard deviation. So we're going to write the standard deviation formula over here. So with the formula, you also go to you open your tab, then you go to insert, then on your far right there's equation there. You click equation, it will say type equation over here, right? So the purpose of writing a formula, remember, is to communicate, right? So instead of writing words, we use symbols. So in your formula, it is very important that you use symbols often than words, right? You only use words where you don't have symbols. So let's look for a symbol of standard deviation. I believe it is the sigma. So you're going to have sigma there, and then you'll have equal sign. Okay, after you have your equal sign, you'll have to open your radical, right, which is your square root sign there. So you go to equation again where we were, and then you go to radical, you click there, and then you click the square root. So after you click your square root, you want to click inside the square root. Okay, so that's where you're going to have your subscript and your power script. So you will be looking at your formula to see what it needs. I already know that it needs power script, so I'm going to click on the script, and then I'll go to superscript. So I click there, superscript, I click superscript again, I click superscript again, because I know it's a couple of superscripts that is needed. Right, once I have that, I'll also click the subscript. So I already know, right? You will also be looking at your formula to know what is needed and not. And then in between, that's where I will have my multiplication. So how do I get my multiplication? I go to insert, and then I go to symbol. There I have my multiplication sign. Okay, and then my addition sign, I think we all can find it on the keyboard. I'll have my plus there, and then I just move the cursor, then put it there. I go to insert, go to symbols, multiplication sign over there. Okay, then I can have my plus here, 2, and then I will add the symbol, the multiplication sign over there, the multiplication sign over there, and the multiplication sign again. Right, so now I can start adding some details into my formula to say that this is the standard deviation to the power 2. So I already know that the symbol for standard deviation is the sigma. I can just copy it instead of going back to where I originally found it. I copy it, then I paste it over here. You paste it how you always paste, right? You use the keep source formatting. You don't use the keep text or the match. You use the keep source formatting. Then over here you'll have 2, right? Because it is there to the power 2. This side I know that I have weight, so I'll have weight there to the power 2, and then I repeat the process of pasting to the power 2, and then I have weight to the power 2, and then I'll also have weight over here. So I can just give more detail to which weight I'm referring to. So maybe we have named them A and B. So weight of the first share, weight of the second share, and then I'll have the covariance. Okay, this is the covariances of the first and the second share. Now this formula here is not in the font that you want it to be. You want it to be in the font that you are using for your assignment already, so you want this to be consistent. You'll just click there, make sure that everything is highlighted there, is in gray. If it's not, you'll just do it manually, right? You'll just click here and then do it like that. Then you go to open your tab, you go to insert, you go to equation. What is happening now? Okay, you go to equation over here, not that one. So I'll repeat, you go to insert, then you go to this equation, right? Not this equation, you go to this one here. So when you go to this one, you then click text over here. So as you click text, go back home, you change the font like how you always do. So you'll see here the font is now perfectly fine, right? Now you have written your formula, your standard deviation formula. You can also move it over here. So when you start to enter the information of calculation, you will have to restart some of the things that you've written over here when you add information. But nonetheless, you're going to repeat the process that we have learned in this case, right? That we have learned over here. So nothing is going to be new when you do this. So we now move to multiplier. So this is related to the formula in economics. Okay, now these formulas, guys, they don't really matter if it's in economics or if it's financial management. Going to have the same process, just that you have to be patient and look for these things. So even with this one, you will have to go there in your tab, go to insert, go to equation. It will say type equation here. So you have to look for the symbol of multiply. I think it's alpha. There's many symbols here. Right, if you click here, it will open all of them. Right, you can see all of them are here. Basic math, and then you can have the Greek letters, letter-like symbols, operators, and many more. All right, but I think we need the Greek. So you want the alpha. Here's the alpha. So you'll see there your alpha will pop up there. It's a little bit huge, this one, but it's fine. Okay, and then you'll have the equal sign. You'll press the equal sign on your keyboard. Okay, so you want to now show a fraction. So you go back, you go to insert, and then you go to equation, right? You don't go back to the equation, this one over here. You go to this one because already you've opened the equation. So you want to show a fraction. Here's our fraction there. So you have to use the stacked fraction or whichever one you feel comfortable with. So I feel comfortable with this one. I'll use that one. Okay, so now when you look at your formula, maybe from your textbook, you just copy it as it is, right? You'll have 1 and then over 1 minus c, and then you open the bracket 1 minus t. Okay, just like that. Then you're going to highlight you're going to shade the whole thing, and then you go to text. Okay, you want it to be in the same font, right? You have the Arial there. So this is how you'll have the formula of the multiplier. Okay, so another thing that students usually ask about in economics is how to write the autonomous symbols. So you go to insert, you go to equation. When you go to equation, you go to accent, right? So that's where you will look at this over here. You want to use bar. You'll see it's written bar over there. So when you have bar, then you will write your G, right? Maybe you wanted to write autonomous investment. You'll have I there. You see it has a line on top, or G there, or aggregate spending, or whatever you want to do, right? So that's basically how you're going to do. So most of these things, they'll just get easier the more you practice and the more you sit down and then try so many things, right? Should you have any question, as always, you can just inbox, then I'll definitely help. But that's how you are going to approach these things. You're going to use this tab, you go to insert equation, and then you just play around with this. You'll find most of the things that you need. If you want to use, let's say if you want to use the change, right? The change in changing quantity, changing this, changing that, you will use that. Okay, just like that. Okay, so that's it for how we write the formulas and also how we write how we draw the graphs. Thank you very much.